felt my trading combine. I'm very calm, I'm very cool, I'm very collected. You may be thinking, why are you so calm? And honestly, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. It was not what I expected going into today, but I'm not mad of the outcome that I got because I'm just gonna break it down to you guys what happened, what went wrong. I did reset the account already because, like, I'm not gonna give up. I just know what I did wrong. I could step back, evaluate it, try to fix it, stuff like that. That's what I'm basically gonna do because it is okay. As a trader, it's not your job to win all every day. It's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is not to win every single day. It is to manage and capitalize off of your wins more than you capitalize off of your losses. And that today was a lesson I learned. Obviously, I had to learn it the hard way, but I learned it. And honestly, that is exactly why I'm not mad that I blew the combine, because it's like I learned a valuable lesson. And going into the trade today, y'all, I was so level. Like, when I tell you I'm level, my psychology is great. I'm letting the trades hit my stop loss. Where I fell short was my risk management. I didn't manage any of my risk. Actually, as my trades progressively kept going throughout the day, I actually sized up to kind of make back what I lost. I obviously didn't do that. I lost everything. And I just want to show you guys my trade, like what I was looking for, because I followed my plan. I had the plan. I planned this since last night. The plan was there. My execution was there. I fell short on my risk management. And I hate that for me because I feel like I've come so far in my journey. For me to have a setback like this is so frustrating. And it's not frustrating in a way like this shouldn't happen. It's frustrating because I know that I shouldn't allow it to happen. You know what I'm saying? As a trader, you want to minimize all of the causations of losses. And I basically maximized it today. And that's not how you become a successful trader. That's just not gonna work, and it's frustrating. It's defeating. It's everything you can feel in a book. Embarrassing. Everything you think I felt during today. But I mean, I had the energy to step back and say, this is just risk management. You didn't manage your risk. You were mentally there. You were psychologically there. You had the plan. You had your game plan. You followed your plan. You didn't manage your risk, because if I would have managed my risk today, I would have probably only lost $400 or something. Manageable risk. I didn't do that though, so I'm just gonna show you guys. I can't really show you guys the actual trades that I took, except for the last trade that I took, because I had to reset the account and I didn't record prior. That was kind of slow on my part. Sorry about that. I was at work. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys on my chart on TradingView the trades that I took, or maybe the game plan that I had, where it fell short, where things start to go south, stuff like that. I'm going to show you guys that, and I'll show you guys where I'm at on my new combine that I reset today, because I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep documenting this journey, holding myself accountable, because at the end of the day, it's you against you, especially in trading. It's you against you. And right now, it's really a battle against me versus me. It was first a battle of, what was it? It was a psychological battle. I read books and all of these other stuff. And then now it's a risk management battle. So it's just, as you get into your trading journey, you just kind of like, it's like a slope. Like, each slope is something new that you need to learn in order to progress and become a successful trader. And that is kind of the path that I'm on, and that's okay, because I'm patient. I'm not in a rush. Like, I don't have to do this. Like, this isn't something I have to do. It's more of like, I want to do this. I enjoy doing this, which I think is a great mindset to have going into this. I just have to stop setting myself up sometimes to fail, or I need to start writing down, why am I losing these trades? what was I thinking, like my thought process during these trades, and etc. etc. But anyways, we're gonna switch to trading view. I'm gonna show you guys everything that I had game planned out for today. You'll even see that my game plan was actually pretty freaking solid. My game plan is almost always pretty solid. It's just about my execution. Anyways, we're gonna switch over, and then I'll show you guys also where I'm at on my new combine. It's not very far. Like I said, I'm not really taking it fast. It's basic info, but I'll show you guys anyways, So we're gonna switch over. Okay, so we're on ES here on trading view, and you can see I have all this stuff on my chart. I delete things as things become invalid, or I also rename things as things change from a support to resistance, from a supply zone to maybe a resistance zone. All of those type of characteristics is what I usually do on my chart. Anyways, going into today, you see I took a practice trade. It was just a test. I didn't actually want to take that trade, so I just took it on paper, because it's okay to always test your theories out on paper. But as you can see, I had this S&R level here. I was anticipating the break of this S&R level to the downside. You may be thinking, why did you anticipate a break of that level here? And that was simply because we had tested this level so many times yesterday. I mean, so many times. So I figured maybe we'd break it to the downside. I was wrong. We actually ended up breaking it to the upside, and that was okay, because once I saw price wick down here, I had this demand zone here, and I was waiting for price to enter this demand zone for me to go long. Obviously, it did not. It front ran me the whole entire trade, and that did kind of tilt me a little bit, but either way, I was like, whatever. I think we came up here, and I was like, we might short here to go back down to this demand zone. So I took a short. Like I said, as the trades went on throughout the day, I kept upsizing. So this trade might have been 8 contracts. This trade might have been 10 contracts. And then I came up here again. I think I took a short right here again with my thing, again, because like I had this resistance here, and this is a daily resistance, and to me a daily resistance is strong. It's going to take a lot to break through a daily resistance, because it's a daily resistance. But anyways, I was like, you know what, I have enough confirmation for me to go short here, so I took a stab at the shorts right here again. I had confirmation. I had 3 rejections off of a near resistance. Sorry guys, I had a brain fart, had a long day, but I had 3 rejections close to a resistance, so I was pretty confident in the short here. Obviously I was in the profit before I hit my stop loss, and again I was upsizing, so this was probably 25 contracts at this point, and I think this is where I ended up blowing my account right here. But either way, I still managed to keep trading. I reset it. I didn't hate my idea of my daily resistance here. I still loved it. I still loved my daily resistance. She was still holding, and also she was in a supply zone. So that's where things got kind of sticky for me. So that's why I was shorting so much. You probably, if you're watching this and you're thinking about giving me some feedback, you're probably thinking, why the flippity flip did she take so many trades right here for short? And that was simply because it was a supply zone. Obviously I didn't have any confirmation yet, like price didn't come out of the supply zone, but I just, like I said, I just kind of I didn't even marry my bias. I just didn't manage my risk. 3 trades in one day is not terrible. 3 trades on 3 contracts, 4 contracts, 5 contracts would have been managed. I had a 10-point stop. All of this could have been avoided had I just kind of thought things through. And this range of this freaking supply zone is huge. By the way, this is broken, so I can delete it. But it was a huge zone, so my stop loss had to be almost 15 points up. So I had to target a 15 to 30 off the bat. So it was just not thought out by me. So that's why I say I don't look at today as a loss. It's a loss physically, but mentally it's not a loss, because I learned so much more, and it's just me paying my market tuition, because I learned so much today that it's just something you only learn through experience. And I just learned that today for the cost of my combine. But anyways, my last trade of the day, once I reset my account, was just playing this rejection again. I ended up taking a short up here this time off of this indecision wick. I took this short and I think I got out really early on it. I don't remember. I think I can show you. This is my new evaluation. So you can see I have a new evaluation that has more than my old evaluation, but it doesn't really matter because I had to pay more money for it. So therefore I'm still negative, but it is okay. I'm going to show you guys the trades. So it says I took one trade today. Obviously I took others. This was 25. So again, over risking, but this was actually the same exact trade. When I reset the combine, I had the same exact trade, so I just kept it. Honestly, I was like, you know what, whatever. And I ended up going short, and I don't even know how to really process this short right here because it said I went short, but it said I got in here, but I exited here, but I obviously didn't because I went short. So I probably exited somewhere like right here or something. I don't even know. I was in the straight for like hours, and you can see it was, oh wait, I'm sorry, it was right here, guys. So I got in here, I exited. Actually pretty solid. I got up here, I exited at the bottom, but you can see I was in this chop, and it's just, no one understands how frustrating it is to have a trade idea but then get stuck in something like that. I quite literally just got stuck in chop. So it wasn't the fact that my trade idea was terrible, but for me to sit through this, from this price to go all the way back up just to tick down, is frustrating, and it's tilting. But luckily for me, that was the only trade I took today on the new combine, which brought me to where I am today at 277.5. You can see one trade. Again, like I said, I had my thesis was great. My theory was great. My execution could have been a little bit better. But overall, everything that I usually follow with trading was there. I let things hit my stop loss. The only thing that held me back today was risk management. Had I managed my risk, I would have been good today. I probably would have even just broke even today. But it happens, and I just kind of need to stop. Like, I jump in these trades like this with no confirmation sometimes, like, because if you trade support and resistance, sometimes price kind of wicks it and completely shoots in the direction that you're trying to trade, and it happens often. So sometimes I will put a limit and I won't wait for confirmation, but I need to stop doing that, or I need to do that on only high probability setups. And you can see here the daily resistance I was going off of. So you can see there's this daily resistance here, and this zone here is a 25-point zone. So if I was to trade this zone, it would be once my confirmation candle closed outside of the range. It looks like price is breaking out of this zone here, which is great, which would be a great trade to take if it wasn't 5 p.m. So therefore I'm not gonna take it, but I will wake up tomorrow and see where price is at and add more zones and etc. But anyways, that's kind of what happened today. And yeah, now let's really talk about what this really means as a trader, especially as a new trader trying to learn what this means for you. If this is something happened to you, like you've experienced something similar to me where you just can't, like, every time you fix an issue another one pops up. Honestly, all I can say is, because you blow a combine does not define your future. Like, imagine you're in a class, or you're getting your degree in something, and you struggle in one course. You fail the course. You go back, you retake the course, you pass it. You still get the degree at the end of that race. Why does it matter how long it took you to get the degree? Why does it matter how many times you had to fall to get the degree? It doesn't. And that's how I'm looking at trading. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take me to get there. it's not gonna matter, because once I'm there at the finish line, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter that I took this L today. It doesn't matter, because I learned something valuable. I can sit down, I can reflect, I can say, man, I know exactly what I did, I know exactly what not to do next time, and etc. And I can move on from it. So I can take this failure and turn it into a win in other aspects. Just because it's a failure in the physical aspects doesn't mean it's a failure in the mental aspects. You take one L on a day doesn't mean you take an L on the month, on the year. One setback does not erase all of the progress you've done. Think of it like a diet, or like weight loss. You lose weight and you decide, man, I want to eat a piece of cake or something. That one setback is not going to make you gain all the weight you just lost. No, it's just quite literally not going to do anything to you. It's going to set you back a little bit, sure, but it's not going to halt the progress you've already made along the way. And that's kind of how I'm looking at trading. Just because I took this L today on my combine does not mean that I'm gonna can give up or continue to take. Maybe, you know what, I can't predict the future. I may take a similar L like this again in the future. But again, it doesn't matter how many times I fail. It doesn't matter how long it takes me to get there. All that matters is that I've got there. I got there, I achieved it, I did it. I did it, you know? That's all at the end of the day. I did it. And that's, if you ever need some inspiration, just think of it like that. Once you accomplished it, you accomplished it. Think about anytime you had to save for something and you finally hit your profit that you were trying to save for, and you get that achievement. How did that feel? That felt great. Like, it's just euphoric. That's all I'm aiming for, you know? So it's nothing bad with the fact that I took an L today. It could have been avoided, correct, but it was a lesson learned, tuition paid. Gonna keep going, gonna keep grinding. At the end of the day, it's just the end of the day. And at the end of the day, there's always another day. Anyways, if you guys want to leave any feedback, tell me what I could have done differently, feel free to leave it in the comments. I personally believe that it was just simply risk management errors today. It was nothing trade based. You can see on the charts, my analysis was there. I was off by a few ticks on where price would bounce, and that's okay. It happens. But if you guys want to leave any type of analysis, any type of feedback, like I said, feedback is always welcome on this channel. I take it with a grain of salt though. But thank you guys for watching. You guys want to keep on my trading journey, always feel free to subscribe. I'm going to try to do daily uploads, if not weekly uploads. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.